Hello guys, it's Tonton. Welcome to a new video on my channel. Today, a very important video. I'll start a series where I kind of cover the basic. So it really applies if you're on a new state, if you start over, if you are not yet furnace 30, and you really want to get the first stages of the game well. So if you have any friend, if you know anyone that is at that stage, furnace 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 28, still at that stage of the game, that video will be very useful. I've played similar kind of games, and there are things you can do in Whiteout that you should not in others. And that's really changed the plan to get to furnace 30, and why. Actually, I'll start with why you want to rush to furnace 30. And that's very important. If you look at the timeline of any state, roughly, sorry, I'll cut my phone, roughly around day 60 to 70, you will get Fire Crystal Age. And in the game, when you are level 30, for example, your intel mission, your daily mission, will start to reward you with fire crystals. You will get, I think, I forgot if you get, because that's a long time ago now for me, if you get a fire crystal with intel mission, I think everyone get, when the fire crystal levels is unlocked, you get fire crystal from intel missions, but I think, I'm sure that when you are furnace 30, you have more fire crystal basically, and you get them from daily mission, and that's a lot of free fire crystal every day. So your goal, if you are new to the game, is to rush furnace 30, first to get more fire crystals, because when they become available, because that will be what is blocking your progression after. On your journey to level 30, what will block your progression is speed ups for buildings, resources, and stuff like that. But once you are level 30, furnace 30, that you promoted all your camps and your troop from T9 to T10, which is a kind of a big gap to pass, when you pass at that stage, and you are, you can chill basically. But going to furnace 30, plus then promoting all troops to T10 is very tough. And that's really important again, because you will get a lot more fire crystal every day for free, so you are not lagging behind that much. You stay ahead of the curve basically, so that's really important. And on top of that, you will unlock T10 troops, so it means that basically you will be able to join best rallies, and you will be able to make the most points on there, and you will be able to fight in foundry. You will do a lot more. And that means that if I use the word rushing to furnace 30, it means that you will leave some other building behind in terms of levels. And we'll go through that in a moment. So I have like maybe up to 15 tips. I stopped counting at some point that I want to share with you. And that could be another topic for another video, but I highly suggest you have a farm if you start the game, which means a second account on the same state. And that second account you will use as a farm to feed resources to your main city. And I'll explain that in another video. And if you play that kind of game, or if you're familiar with it, you might already understand it. But you will want to start 2 cities in parallel, nearly the same day as you start on your state. And your farm, you will progress a lot slower on it, because regularly you will attack it to loot the resources basically. So let's go with my tips and the way you need to think about it. So before you unlock all T10s troops, so you have your furnace level 30, you have your camps level 30, your general speedups, you have to use them as construction speedups. Your bottleneck will be resources, and after resources will be general speedups. Like a furnace upgrade and the last level could take you 15-20 days, right? So that's a lot, and you cannot wait for the game to progress that fast. So one of the first team could be to buy the second builder. Actually, you have by default in the game you have one builder. Let's say I have something to upgrade, right? Let's collect that. So you get one builder. if I start that, it will have one, and I can do 2 builders. So either you buy it for a few, like 3-4 euros, or you can have it for 2 days for some gems. So if you don't, if you cannot buy it or you don't want to buy it, use gems to get 2 builders very, very regularly, and I'll explain you kind of how to do that. So use general speedup as construction speedups. Nothing on research, or very, very little on research, and I'll talk about research in a moment. And most of it on, and nothing on troops, right? Troops you will do naturally over time. I have 3 million troops. I never used any general speedups on troops. So troops you will do naturally. So that's the first tips. Make sure you do that until Furnace 30 and Camp 30. Then after that, I'll suggest to spend it on research, because that's where, see, like, you know, I've been playing for a year and a half. I've been spending all my general speedups after Furnace 30 on research, and you see, you know, I'm missing all of that. I'm missing all of that, and these are like 20 days, right? 16 days. So I'm missing like a year or two of research still after playing a year and a half and using all of my speedups. That's 50 days, right? Just right here. So I'm missing like still so many, and you know, I did not finish economy and I did not finish growth on all aspects of it. So when you have Furnace 30, you move to research, but then before that, on construction. And you want to use your general speedups mostly on 2 buildings, on embassy and furnace. The camps, the last few levels, maybe you want to do it too, but the thing is, furnace will take you days, you know. At some point it will take 2, 3, 4, 5 days, but then it's gonna take 10, 15, 20 days. So while you are upgrading a furnace, for example, with your first builder, you're not gonna instantly pop your furnace, right? You're gonna do, in parallel with your second builder, you're gonna do the other building. So you're gonna do your camp, for example. But what will make you waste time is having to wait for completion of furnace and embassy. Embassy takes less time than furnace, but still take a long time. So while I suggest when you are furnace 30 and you unlock fire crystal edge, I'll suggest to always use construction speedups on your camp, so you are not wasting training troops. But when you start the game, your priority is furnace 30. So that means waiting for your camps to be built, not using speedups on them, and really going on furnace and embassy. So while you upgrade embassy, maybe you do a camp when the camp is completed, because often, and we'll go through that in a moment, but when to upgrade your furnace, you need either a camp of the maximum level you can have, or the research center. The other buildings do not matter, nearly. So you want to keep your camps, and you want to keep your research center, and you want to keep your embassy always as close to maximum level as you can. And it's often a rotation, right? You will need infantry to upgrade the furnace, then you will need marksmen, then you will need lancer, then you will need research center, and then so it's kind of a rotation. I'll go through that a bit later, exactly, especially for the last levels, right? So speed ups mostly on embassy and furnace. That's your bottleneck, right? And once you finish the furnace, right, you want to start the embassy right away, because the embassy is very long. So when your furnace is finished, you move to embassy with the builder and you go to furnace. And when you move from embassy, and you from furnace and you go to embassy. When you finish embassy, you should have had unlocked what you need in terms of camp or research center to go to the next level of furnace. So if I look, for example, for me, I need embassy fire crystal 6 and I need marksman camp, right? So my marksman is level 6, so that's okay, but my embassy is not. So if I was level 28, for example, when this finish and I need marksman level 28 and I need embassy level 27, embassy is always one level behind because you can upgrade embassy after, basically. But you want your embassy max level and your marksman camp, and you want the marksman camp to be finished in that case before the embassy. Then you speed up the embassy if you have the resources, for example, and then you start furnace. And then when you start furnace, you look at what are the buildings needed. It's always embassy, and it will be either another camp or research center. And then you start embassy, research center or embassy and the camp you need. You wait for the camp to finish, maybe you wait for the embassy to finish, or you use some speedups, and then you go back to furnace. And then when furnace is finished again, then you go back to embassy plus what you need. And in between, because you won't have enough speedups to always finish embassy and to always finish furnace, right? In between, you upgrade your other camp, you upgrade your research center, and you do not lag behind too much with your buildings, right? In terms of that producing resources for you. In this game, it's okay to skip, to have some buildings behind. Like if you play Clash of Clans, it's a kind of different kind of game, right? But you want to level all your building together, right? And when you go to, what was it? It's not furnace, whatever, Town Hall, right? When you want to go from Town Hall 12 to Town Hall 13, you want most of your things Town Hall, at the level of Town Hall 12. In Whiteout, you don't have to. I think it was the same in Rise of Kingdom. I did not play for so many years now, but I think you don't want to rush in that game. You can rush in Whiteout Survival. So you might want to have your production building only to level 20 or 22, because at some point they'll take too long, right? And you won't improve them, but maybe 20, 25. But what you can leave behind is basically storehouse. Not as important unless you are being attacked a lot and you want to defend yourself, but not really important. Infirmary, not that important as well, unless you are, fighting a lot. And even command center, you can leave it a bit behind, right? These you can leave behind a bit, and what you focus on is to make sure your 3 camps, your research center, your embassy, and your furnace, you're progressing as much as you can with it. And if you think you're gonna miss resources, and you will, give some levels to your building for resources, and get resources from your farm. So, okay, so yeah, do not upgrade all buildings so that we saw. So before you start a building, right, there are a few things available to you to reduce the construction time. The main one that is available immediately is double time. So 20%, it's removing really 20%. So if you need 5 days to make a building, it's gonna take 4 days. So it's better to wait 3 hours to remove a day on construction time than starting it without removing a day, right? So, but you want to time that. You can use it once a day, right? So 23 hours cooldown. So you will only have that at the beginning. So you want to make sure each time you upgrade embassy or a camp or furnace, you want to pop that before, to make sure you pop it before. When you have pets, it's very, very important that you improve the first pet, because it's gonna reduce the construction speed. It's gonna increase your construction speed. So you're gonna build faster. So you're gonna reduce by 20%, plus you're gonna get up to 15%. So one of the best pets to level up is this one for free to play. It's really important at the beginning. It's super weak, but it really helps you, right? Then you will have the Inman as well. The Inman, you want him because he will reduce the time, right? It will make you build faster, and it will reduce the cost, and that's really helps. That's really helps to reduce the cost. So you want basically to have the Inman to at least 3 stars. So mine, I went to 4 stars, but it takes so much time to get him to 4 stars, it's nearly a waste. You want him to get at least 3 stars, and he's a lucky wheel hero, so you will have to spin the wheel during all of Chief, and that's the way you get it, man. So you want to use some gem as soon as possible, spin 120 times if you can per event to unlock Dinman, so you reduce your cost, and you construct faster, and you reduce the cost, and that's really important. And the fourth thing you can do, and Dinman is a permanent buff, you don't have to activate it, so there are 2 buffs you need to activate: double time, pets, and then after you first Sunfire Castle, if you still are not level 30 or whatever you do, basically, the first title, Vice President, give you 10% construction time. So every time and research, right? So every time you start a long research or a long building, you want to pop that. So you want to get the title, you want to pop double time, and you want to use the pets, and you will see that your building will go from 10 days to 6 days. By combining something like that. So that's really important to do that all the time. because you will miss resources, it's really important that you have, you know, if you have 5 march, I would say farm 6 march, farm with 4 all the time. If you have 5, at least 4 all the time. So one of each. And if you know, are lacking one resources, then you send the other one as an extra. If you really need resources, you can always pop this buff. So you click on the little arrow under you, and you can gather faster, 100%. So it's lowering by an hour or 2 on a level 8 tile. So that's a little buff. It could be expensive with gems, so maybe you don't want to do that too much. But that could be very handy. And that's why your farm is from. Your farm is for, sorry. I'll say it again, is what your farm is for. So I don't really use my farm anymore, but you see I have it here. It's a bit weaker than I am, it's a bit beyond, it has a lot of resources, so if one day I'm lacking resources, I'll be able to rally it. And I'm seeing, like, a farm is really important very early in the game. If you look at me, see how much resources I got, right? After you furnace 30, after you've got all your troops to T10, you tend to have too many construction speedups and too many resources, or you tend to get just what you need in terms of construction speedups and too many resources. So your farm is really important to help you to get to furnace 30 quick. If you start to eat too late, you know, a month later, it's not gonna be useful because you will have it ready at a stage you don't need resources anymore, right? So consider that as well, and you can drop it if you don't want to play 2 accounts. You can drop it when you are level 30 and you promote all your troops. It's very unlikely to be needed. Something I actually forgot in my notes about resources. What you will find early in the days, you might have some whales in your alliance that are already furnace 30 and that buy a lot of packs. And they got extra resources. So if they empty, you know, you sending all their troops out of their city, and at this stage of the game you can empty your base. Then, you know, they empty, you ask on your alliance chat if anyone is having enough resources. You empty your base. These people empty their base, they leave the alliance, and you can attack them to loot resources. What I've been doing a lot is, as well, I've been giving resources to my alliance. If you are one of these players that you are, you know, ahead of everyone, you are already furnace 30, you have your T10 troops, you have too many resources, then you can empty your base and you can allow people to attack, you know, you 50 times, 100 times, or, you know, maybe you want to keep some resources, but you can either give resources if you have too much because you are ahead, or get resources if you are behind. So that's really important. Resources will be an issue. In your research center, unless you are a whale and a big spender and you fight a lot, you can go quickly here and you can get some of the stuff here. You know, get some deployment capacity and stuff. But like, the battle tree is really not that important at the beginning. What you want to do is, in the growth tree, you want 2 things. You want the building, right? And you want the research. You want these 2 to be maxed out. You don't care about troop capacity, training troop capacity. Like, see, it's increasing by 7 troops more I train. Like, that changed nothing. Training speedups is optional, is decent, but you want first to do building and research. You will go through as far as you can on this one to get as much building speed, and you will get as well extra marches. So that's really important to go for the growth tree to get building and research. That's really, really important. And on the economy, you will want to get the mining ones. So the output is okay, but your buildings are not producing as much as your march are gathering. So your march are gathering more than your buildings are producing. It gives you more resources to gather than to produce. So you can get, you know, easy points here to get a bit more percentages, right, of production, but you want to max your mining, and you want to max all of them, right? So mining, you have coal. See, some of them, they are like not at the same area, right? So you have your wood, food, coal, and you have somewhere you should have iron, right? Might be this one, so it's a bit below. So you really need to navigate and unlock everything and focus on mining. Something that's really important for research, I'll suggest, if you care about the game and you want to develop fast, get in the first alliance of your state. Like, you will progress so much faster, because there will be people that, you know, will help, basically, when you start a research, they will help a lot more often. You will get better tech in sense of alliance tech. You will unlock all of these faster. Then you get construction speeds, training speeds, research speed. You get extra gathering. Maybe that's all about alliance. So maybe it's growth. Yeah, you get extra gathering speed. You get more chest. Some of these chests, it's a bit of gems, some meat, some resources, some speed ups. Like, over a 2 months period, it's a lot compared to a very inactive alliance or less active. So I'll suggest to go top 1, even maybe top 2 or 3, but I would not suggest to go below top 3. Yeah, like, the first researches, like, they take a few, they take, I don't see the time anymore. But these take an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and if you have a very active alliance, it will complete automatically, right? When you upgrade your embassy, it gives you help time, it's increasing the help time, the amount of second you get. Basically, that's the amount of second it reduces from the research. So when you are level, 20, 25, and your embassy is level 20, 25, you will get 2 or 3 minutes per people that help. And you can have up to 50, you will have a bit less, maybe at that point you will have 40 or something like that, but 40 by 3 minutes, it's 2 hours, right? So it's really good, right? Every research you will remove 2 hours, every building you will remove 2 hours. So even this first level on your resource building, that will go very quick. You will pop instantly, until furnace 15. You can rush through furnace 15 so quick in the top 1 alliance with a lot of people helping and being present. And it's accumulating, right? If you save 2 hours on every, compared to a less active alliance, on every furnace level, 2 hours on every embassy, 2 hours on every camp, 2 hours on every research, on your research center levels, that's a lot of hours. Plus you will get more rewards, plus you will get as well more facilities, and some facilities are, let me find them, training speeds. You have some that are construction speed, so you have a 5% and an 8% from facilities, so that should be these ones. Research speed as well, so you can have 13% research speed from facilities, you can have 13% construction speed, so all in all, it will give you so much more, really so much more. If you are in one of the best alliance, you use your double time, you use your pet, you use the title, you make sure that when your furnace is finished, you go to embassy. When embassy is finished, you go to furnace, and in between you focus on camps and research center, and you just keep upgrading your resources building a bit, and everything else you don't care. Like maybe a tiny bit to your command center so you can gather, nodes fully, but you don't care. You focus really on that. You have a farm to help you with resources. You will progress so much faster if you do just that. Really, if you do just that. That's really, really important. And that's the key. And again, you want to do that because if you are furnace 30 when fire crystals unlock, you get more per day for free, and you get T10 troops will be a lot stronger, and you will be able to be a lot more useful for your alliance, and as well it will be a lot more fun to be stronger. It's a fighting game. It's a war game. You will fight a lot. So I'll show you something now that's important, right? For the last few levels. So that's kind of your guideline for the early days and your focuses, right? Then just I need to make sure, is it this one? Yeah. Okay, that's right. So what you can see on your screen is on the left is the furnace level you want to unlock. The furnace level you want to unlock, and that's the requirement for the furnace level. So for furnace level 27, you need embassy 26 and lancer camp 26. But you can see that the last time you need the lancer camp. So at the end, when you are furnace 27, you can leave your lancer camp 26. to go to 28, you will need embassy always, and you will need research center. So you can leave after you unlock furnace 28, you can leave your research center to 27. And if you lack resources and if you lack speedups, because you see like that's the amount of days it takes to build the building without your tech speedups and double time and all these things. So you can bring down like 40 days to 25 days or something like that. It will likely take you to go to furnace 30. It will likely take you 20-25 days in total. But that's still a lot, right? That's really still a lot of speedup. So you want to keep your Lancer Cup 26 at the end when you are rushing the last level. You want to keep your research 27. You want to keep your infantry 28, and you want to have your marksman 29. So you want to keep that in mind, and you can take a screenshot of that if you want to. It's you go on the wiki of Whiteout Survival and you will find it. You go back to this video, around minute 25. That's where I am in the recording. And you understand that before that, because it's a rotation between the building, you will need to level up your camp for furnace 22, something like that. Your lancer for furnace 22. You will need to have your research maybe for furnace 23, something like that. So you will need to level all four buildings. But at some point you can stop if you lack resources, if you lack speed ups, and you want to focus on efficiency and you want to get to that furnace 30 as soon as possible. Stop Lancers 26, stop Research 27, and keep researching, right? Keep training Lancers. Stop Infantry 28. And then when you are Furnace 30, you will start to earn more Fire Crystals, and then you will upgrade your camps. And then what you want to do when your Furnace is 30 is you don't have to upgrade Embassy to 30. You can keep it 29, right? It will be 29, your Furnace will be 30. And you will do all your camp and your research center. So I suggest to use speedups, building speedups, and even general speedups to get all these camps and research center to level 30 as soon as possible. And when you get Lancer camp, research, infantry, marksman camp to 30, then you switch. You keep your general speedup for research speedups. You convert them to, you use them on research, not research center, but researches themselves. And that will really help you to rush, because you see that's a lot of resources, right? And again, Zinman will remove 9, 12, 15% of the amount, but that's a lot of resources. That's why you want a farm. And that's without you training troops, that's without you upgrading from T8 to T9, to T9 to T10. So that's where there is a big bottleneck in the game, is around that part. And that's where people start to get very slow and to get demotivated and to lag behind, is because they don't know how to go to the finish line quickly. And that's how you go to the finish line quickly, with what I explained. That's a summary. So that's my very old Discord guide I've made long time ago. So I'll stop sharing, but that's, I've made that, what I'm showing you, like I've made that on stage 665, day one nearly of the states, and it really helped people. Like we were ahead compared to many other alliances and other states nearby, because people knew what to do. You can skip, you don't have to upgrade all buildings, and if you do that, you will be lagging behind a lot. You will be lagging behind a lot in the end game. You will have weak troops because you're not gonna have T10, and when it's time for Fire Crystal, you will still be with T9s, and people will start to get Fire Crystal troop T10, and it's not gonna be fun if you care to take part in battle, if you care to fight, if you care to kill people. So I'll highly suggest you consider following this guide. So I'll go through again very quickly. General speedups, you want to use them until you unlock T10 troops, so that means Furnace 30, Camp 30, Research Center 30. So all your general speedup, you pour them into construction speedups. You want to mostly use your construction speedup on two buildings, Furnace and Embassy. When your Furnace is done, you start Embassy. When Embassy is done, you should have built the other building that's required, so either a camp or either the Research Center, and you will want to start Furnace. So that means in between these things, you need to check if you have enough resources, and you need to to attack your farm. To attack your farm, of course, you remove all the troops from your farm, so you don't lose troops. You put all your troops out on the field, in mines or something, and then you attack your farm to get resources. You cannot exchange resources with your farm in this game. I remember, I don't know if it's still possible nowadays, but in Rise of Kingdom, you used to be able to exchange resources between players. In Whiteout Survival, it's not possible. You have to attack a city to plunder resources. So you will want resources on your farm. You will want your farm to have no troops in its city, so it does not defend, it does not kill your troops. And then you attack your farm and you make it burn and you loot the loot in your farm if you need resources. If you have wells in your alliance, because you are in the top 1 to 3, and they are already Furnace 30 for a while and well established, ask them if they can give you resources, and to give you resources, the same will need to happen. They will have to empty their base, you or them will have to leave the alliance, and you will attack the city. Be careful not to attack a neighbor around that is full of troops and that will kill all your march. Happens to some people, and that's gonna not gonna help you, and get resources that way. Or you can of course fight to get resources in your state and attack other players if it's allowed. Just be careful. I've seen people destroying their troops doing that, and they were lagging behind because they had no troops. They were so kind of violent trying to get resources off other players, and they did not know how to fight well. Then they will lose so many troops doing so, and they'll start to use general speedups on troops to be able to do bear and stuff like that, and they will lag behind. Actually, I mentioned bear, very important. If you can be in alliance that's allowing you to do bear, because see, like you will be able to do these rewards, in the early days, and that's 12 million of each resources, 2 million coal, 600k iron, and that's very good, and that's every 2 days. Same for Crazy Joe. I don't have Crazy Joe here, so that's something you can do. So resources very important. Use double time, use your pet, use the title. We talk about it. So title. I actually forgot about one tip, so I'll share it with you in a moment. So you take Vice President for 10% construction, double time, your pet. One extra tips while we are here. That's only really work for the early days. Furnace, to get you to Furnace 20 or something like that. Coal and iron is quite expensive, but meat and wood is super cheap. See, like to get all the wood, it takes me 400. To get all the meat, it takes me 400 gems. To get all of that, it's 2,000. And to get all of that, it's 8,000. So, for example, if you have 6 marches or 5 marches and you send extra gatherer to other resources, send them to coal and to iron and buy extra wood in your alliance. That's a very good, do that from week 1 basically. Week 1 I will suggest, you can buy that once a week. The first few weeks, 4, 5, 6, 4 weeks, I suggest to buy at least wood and meat, and maybe consider coal. The issue is gonna make you, fall behind with your VIP level, which you want. You want to get to VIP 6 to get the extra march queue. You want to spin the wheel to get Dinman. So you need a lot of gem at the beginning, and it's hard to get. So just be careful not spending too much them. Something I did not mention because it's so obvious to me, but you should never I'll say it again one more time. Never use gem to speed up building time, right? You should never do that. See how much gem it cost me for 36 days. That's a waste of gem. You can use your gem in many other ways in the game that will be a lot better, that will give you a lot more for that. And many people do that mistake. They use many gems at the beginning to rush, but because it's a poor use of your resources, you will regret it later. It's a lot better to unlock more VIP level, to get, a bit see VIP 4, you get construction time. Oh, sorry. What happened? You get, that should be in my tips as well, right? I'll add it to my notes. You get 10% construction time VIP 4. So that's really important, because when you start to have building that takes 10 days, that's a lot. That's really a lot. Resource production, you don't care that much, right? But construction time is decent. So you want to rush to VIP 4 as well. That will help you a lot. You want to get Deanman the first wheel. You want to spin the wheel 120 times if you can to get Deanman to, level to 2 stars at least. So it start to you can get your skill level 3 and you can start to reduce cost by 9, you know, on both on construction time, construction speed and cost of resources. Farm, you know, even if you're at work, you know, go to the toilet, send your farmer again every 8 hours or whatever you can do, you know, maybe at the beginning you can farm smaller tiles, so, you know, it's only a few hours. You know, if you go to the toilet, you know, send your farmers. If you have 5 marches, send 4. If you have 6 marches, send 5. Have your farmer farm all the time. And, you know, if you're really struggling with resources, spend a bit of gems on that. You know, an 8-hour boost, you can get a lot, you know, in a day. If you send, you know, you use the boost, you send your marcher. As soon as they're coming back, you send them again. Maybe they're coming back one more time, you're sending them again. That's really, really, really helpful. In terms of research, we just talked about. Again, I'm making a quick recap. What's really important is research speed, building speed. Here, the rest is a lot less important. I know you want troops, I know you want stuff like that, but that's secondary and you will get there anyway. And then here you want to unlock as much as you can. You see at some point you don't need to. That's because, you know, I reach Furnace 30 by then and I don't need to, but you want to have most of it, right? See, I'm number 3, I have research number 3 and number 4 nearly max. So you want to max research number 1 to 3, maybe start to work a bit on number 4 to really, really help you. And then to go back to that image, and that's really important, take a screenshot if you need. When you reach Furnace 26, then you need to start to think about which building to leave behind. And your Lancer camp, you leave it behind after 26. Your research, you leave it behind after 27. Sorry. Your infantry, you leave it 28. You leave it level 28, and your marksman, you can leave it level 29. So you can get, you know, you can get your speed ups and you can get your resources to get your Furnace 30. You will have time to catch up on all of that. It's gonna take a while to upgrade all camps to 30, to train all troops from T10 to T9 to T10 anyway, but it's really important to get Furnace 30 to not lag behind in terms of fire crystal, because that will what cause you issue later in the game. Yeah, that's mostly it, guys. I'm really thinking, like, if you want to buy, you know, if you want to spend a tiny bit of money to speed yourself up, I don't have access to the early day packs, you know, not anymore. Like, understand that these are bad packs, usually. The regular packs, they are very low percentage, they are bad. So you will get packs when you pop a Furnace level, for example. They are not that good, they are decent, but they are not that good. So if you want to boost a bit yourself, look, you know, and with like training things and stuff, look at packs that are above 3000% if you can. This one is 5000, and over time you get more. But you will have, sometimes you see you don't even have the percentages, right? But like 1400, I mean, it's not a speed ups, right? But it's very low. So you get, in general, you get little for your money. And buying packs with resources could help you. So if you want to spend a tiny bit of money, I'll make sure you buy the extra building queue to buy the extra march. That will help you a lot, because extra march you can find with five marches all the time and have one that you leave for auto draining, for example, and you see you will unlock your 50 polar terrors daily. You will participate to the alliance. You can do your intel mission with that march. That's really important. But, you know, use your stamina as well. I did not mention, but that's obvious. But, you know, if you rally beast out polar terrors, you know, you get resources and speed ups, right? Here you get training, but that will help you, but you get resources. So I guess that's it for today. Let me know if it was helpful. I'll make a kind of a guide with other aspects. So I might cover how to get a farm. I might cover the extra, how to think about heroes and troops early in the game, how to make a farm account, like basic stuff like that, to really help you and to prepare for the first Fire Crystal Edge, which is, you know, Fire Crystal 1 and 3. Then the game, you know, becomes a bit more stable and you know most of it by then. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Please leave a like, a comment. Please share to any of your friends that are early stage in the game. That will really help. Like, I cannot say it more, you know, I don't know how to say it, but if you would ask people in my alliance at the time, like in state 665, like they loved it. And some people really progressed, and they, you know, it allowed them to not be behind too much. I wish I had that information when I started the game, to be honest with you. That's why I made a guide, and that's why I shared it more than a year ago now. It was actually early, it was actually, nearly a year and a half ago now. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye bye.